to answer a few questions for folks before yes, we know it's risky. It's a risk.
This could be the hard night to flops, actually.
And if I know, Brian, there's a plant or two in the audience, someone came prepared with a question. So, come on up here and we'll ask folks to stand if they have a question for you and say it nice and loud and proud. And Brian, you'll stand here, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, questions for Brian. Which character in the novel is based on you?
Brian.
Yes, could you stand up, please?
What's my favorite color?
What's wrong with you?
I think I answered that many times. I don't know. All right. Yes, Helene.
So, how did you find time to write?
Oh, good question. All right. So I have a wife, 2 kids, 5 and 3, 2 little girls, and so it was definitely hard. So I would try to write maybe 2 to 3 hours a week. That's about the only time I had. The novel took me about 2 years to write at that pace, and I would have to go. I was one of those guys that would like write at a coffee shop. I was that guy writing at the coffee shop. You know, 'cause I knew if I came home, I was to replace a screen window or do whatever you do when you're home. So I'd have to go to a coffee shop and just find the time whenever you can.
Okay, I'll ask you.
Yes.
These are all the questions I was going to email you, and I'll just ask you.
Go ahead. Go
Did
ahead.
you have the idea for the book? How did you write out an outline? How did you kind of go through the writing process?
All I had was the title popped in my mind, the trail, and I imagined what the book cover would look like. And that was it. And I was like, I want to write a book that looks like this. And that's what I did. I did not outline it. I just started writing it and to see where it would go. Reading interviews and talking to other writers, people work in different ways. Some people meticulously outline what each chapter is going to be about. Others, like myself, just kind of go wherever your brain takes you, wherever the muse house takes you. So no, I had just the title and the imagine what the cover would look like. I had a little idea about how it would begin and how it would end. I had no idea where it would go in the middle. And I just imagined what the movie version of the trail would look like. And I just wrote what I saw in my head of the movie version into the book.
Who plays the leads in the movie version?
You'll get whacked pretty early. I don't think you're going to make it out of chapter 3, Marla.
I can't picture the man with the red shirt. I don't know who he is yet.
I don't know. Open casting calls. Yes, Rose?
Brian, who's your favorite author?
My favorite author, I have a bunch of them. In terms of horror, I mean, I grew up reading a lot of Stephen King. Horror, there's this guy Richard Lehman who's pretty sick. This guy Jack Ketchum, I like his stuff. And then I read a lot of comedy. The books that turned me on were the ones in high school: Catcher in the Rye, Kurt Vonnegut, stuff like that. I like this Japanese writer now. His name is Haruki Murakami. He's really kind of blows my mind. He makes me feel like I'm dreaming when I'm reading his book. It kind of is a really disorienting thing, which is kind of my next book. I want to sort of have more of that feel to it. But Bill Lyons, sports writers, anything, blogs, everything. Not Bill Conlon. Bill Lyons. All right. Yeah, Brenda, you have one?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
So, no, I'm not standing. There was a part of the book where you said that, how all people look the same when they die, but the mouth was the last part to die.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that and I shuddered a little bit. And I kind of wondered, where the hell did that come from?
That came from the part of my soul where there's something wrong with me.
Brian, you know what?
Great.
It was like there were a couple of lines that really I was like, oh my God. god, you know,
Yeah.
that's crazy, you know.
I have no idea.
Saying it as a fan,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other part I liked a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
was when you said that, you know, when they were talking about the bodies hanging,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it said that, you know, they were twitching.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because their bodies were carrying out actions that the brain couldn't abort. And I was like, wow. No, it was
Great writing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like
No.
how would I know that or think of that?
No, honestly,
Yeah.
like I read those passages and I paused. I was like, whoa, you know, but it was in a very positive way. It was like very, very good, very well written, and it's creepy.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know where the ideas come from. I just kind of.
No, but it was
All right.
very
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you.
Big fan.
So I think we have
Thank you.
time for one more question before we move on to the, Kathy Dove.
Should I be worried about my daughter and granddaughter?
Obviously. Again, I tried to put that disclaimer in the beginning that what's wrong with me, but still, people aren't quite sure.
What
Yes.
character do you most closely identify with?
Do I most closely identify with? Oh, I don't know. Maybe Jack, probably.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah, the wayward stoner.
Okay.
Did I just incriminate myself? So probably Jack. All right. One or two more. We shut it down. This is like in class. All right, we will shut it down then. All right, so I'll give you a sneak preview of my new novel, and my friend front row Andy Allen there, college buddy, said, "You're gonna read something from your new stuff? That's like a band. You go to see their album, play the songs on the album, damn it. Don't play the new song. Nobody likes that. I'm playing the new song anyway. Disregard your advice." All right, so like I said, that this guy Haruki Murakami, this Japanese writer, kind of has these dream things, and I want to, for my next novel, incorporate more like dreams and make it more psychologically unnerving than necessarily running through the woods, sort of slasher terrorist. I want to move, and this novel I think has more of a bigger scope. The original title, which I was kind of thinking about, would be Mindfuck, but I don't think the publisher would be down with that. So. I thought of this other title, Myriad, which is a word that means a lot of different things are happening and a lot of different possibilities. So that's what this book's about, a lot of different things. All right, here is chapter 1.
Titles, Brian?
What's that?
Could you combine those titles, maybe?
Myriad Mindfuck. Perhaps. We'll see. All right, so this is chapter 1, and it's about 5 minutes long. Like you didn't know what you're getting into. All right, chapter 1. The brisk footfalls from Dr. Glenn Carson's patent leather shoes echoed off the clean white linoleum tile floor in the maternity wing of Franklin Memorial Hospital. The baby had been born about an hour ago, and already the news vans were clogging the front entrance of the building. Dr. Carson stopped, looked out the 5th floor window, and watched as film crews tinkered with levels on their equipment and recorded establishing shots of the hospital sign. Shit, Carson thought. How do they know already? The doctor continued down the hall toward room 17, the mother's room. As he rounded the front circular desk of the wing, he was intercepted by Karen, a 30-something anesthesiologist with long blonde hair and a pug-like nose. "She's coming around, doctor." "Does she know?" "Not yet." "Did you tell her anything?" "No, she's still pretty groggy." For a split second, he wondered if Karen could dope her up again, just to buy some time. But he knew the idea was unethical. Then again, Carson thought, pushing back his glasses and running his fingers through his salt and pepper hair, do ethics even apply to this case? "Give her some more, Karen. Let her rest. She'll need her strength." The anesthesiologist nodded, avoiding eye contact with the doctor. She turned, grabbed her tray full of needles, and began pushing the cart down the hallway toward room 17. At the first intersection, she stopped, looked down a side corridor, and pivoted back to the doctor. What do we do about them? The doctor joined her and peered down the hallway. Damn it, how did they get in here? He spun around and looked for an incompetent underling to direct his wrath, but since the baby was born, the hospital had become a flailing organism of movement with no clear head or body. Carson watched as members of the media pushed past Henry, the elderly fifth-floor security guard, and bounded down the hall with outstretched video cameras and microphones. "Security!" yelled Carson. He reached over the unoccupied circular desk and grabbed the red phone. "This is Dr. Carson. We have unauthorized media on the 5th floor. We need security stat." He slammed the phone down and marched toward room 17. Karen followed. He arrived at the room. He took a deep breath, gathered his thoughts, and mentally prepared his comments to the mother. What can I say? What the hell can I possibly say? His 23 years in the medical field had not prepared him for such a speech. Neither had his 52 years on Earth. It was unthinkable. It was impossible. He pushed the cool metal handle and opened the door. Karen trailed behind with her cart of needles. The room was quiet. Mid-morning sun broke through the beige Venetian blinds, cross-hatched the bedspread, and ran up the side of a large armoire. The woman in the bed slumbered silently under the sheets. Her black hair splayed across the pillow, and her gray skin was pulled taut against her face. Dr. Carson did not notice the telltale signs of new motherhood, flowers, balloons. Instead, just the sun and the light and the dull hum of electricity from the bedside monitors. The woman on the bed suddenly bolted upright and screamed, "What happened in there, doctor? What did my baby say?" The end of my shtick, but thanks for everyone coming out tonight, and thank you again, Kathy, for hosting. All right. Good night.
Congratulations, Brian, on the publication of The Trail. And folks, you will find Brian on the front porch signing and selling. The book is $15, and I promise you that's less than $1 per corpse. And thanks so much, everyone, for coming to Newshouse tonight.